This is our life. Continuing a number of similar feints as I keep a watchful eye out for possible pursuers. We finish a quick shopping trip at a hardware store and pharmacy, then finally make our way to a certain neighborhood.
さすがに疲れた。
Certain neighborhood as in the ghettos? Yeah, I guess you would be. Exhaustion dulls your capacity for judgment. No point in walking ourselves ragged. No matter how many feints you make, it only takes one moment of bad luck to be discovered. You get to a point of diminishing returns after a while. Making ourselves hard to track is about all we can hope for. Alright then, let's go somewhere where we can maybe relax.
それはいいんだけど、どこへ行くの？
Don't worry, Makina. I got a plan. Discreet lodging facilities are surprisingly easy to find almost anywhere, especially in parts of town frequented by young people. You'll find plenty of fashion hotels where you can carry in a drunk woman with no questions asked. Of course, if you want some tidy looking place right on the main street, you're going to be running up a decent bill pretty fast. But unless you're bound and determined to stay in some amusement park room with a rotating bed, one of those old fashioned couples hotel dating from the pre war era, just fine. The walls tend to be thin, but that means you can't miss anyone breaking in. Also, they tend to be in a slightly shadier part of the neighborhood, and right now, a place next door to a local Yakuza office would be ideal. Even if some incident were to occur, Sakura Daemon tends to be take a good 30 minutes to arrive in force, and Ichigaya will probably have a slightly harder time poking their head into the Tokyo police's turf. Oh my god. For some strange reason, this kind of cheap hotel is always without fail managed by a deaf old bat. It took a great deal of effort to just get across what we wanted. But the old lady didn't even seem to notice a loud fight between a drug dealer and their customer nearby. Just the sort of indifference we're looking for.
なんかこのお部屋、消毒薬臭い。まるで保健室か病院みたいなのよさ。なんで？
Did you see that old TV in the background too, Makina? God, we are in the shit shack. Who knows? Maybe the previous customer broke out the Enma and had themselves a wild scat party or something.
何それ？
Oh, I'll tell you when you're older, kid. Everyone gets high as a kite, then flings shit at each other while screeching like gorillas in a zoo. I think I saw a video like that in a private collection we confiscated as evidence once.
それって楽しいのかな？
Oh, don't tell me you're gonna start getting into scat Makina, because that's gross. Who knows? Perhaps such extreme methods are necessary countermeasures against the excessive stress rampant in our fast-paced modern society. Or something.
ふーん。
Don't even think about it. In any case, let's double check our luggage and the stuff we bought on the way, then take a breather.
わかった。
I lower my personal baggage and the bread making machine Amine foisted on me and onto the floor of our little room. Always nice to get a little weight off your shoulders. Guess we'll start by emptying out the backpack, then move on to reviewing the supplementary items we picked up on the way here. But before we can begin, a woman's ecstatic voice comes flooding into the room from the other side of the one paper-thin wall. Classic. Well, the place is what it is, so, well, can't exactly complain, but seriously.
おお？何？なんか変な声が聞こえるのよさ。隣なんか変な動物でもいるの？
Reminds me of the strange noises you were making during the, you know. Yeah, sure, it's an animal, technically speaking. God damn it. Seems to be saying, maybe it's some strange variety of cattle?
牛？また一？
The word's pronounced new, actually. That's just overly dramatic.
誰がアホじゃ？アホはお
Don't pick a fight, Makina, with someone who's. Oh my god. Whoa, don't kick the walls. They're thin. It'd be ridiculously awkward if you tore a hole and we ended up face to face with those people.
また一おじろまた一
Oh my god. Who the hell's Eugene supposed to be? Crap, when you repeat it like that, it actually starts to sound a little funny. So I look up at the sky. This exceptionally boisterous rat motel should make for a good temporary base of operations. For one thing, it's completely incompatible with the gloomy pathos that so often comes with being on the run. And although I'd been planning to set about establishing early warning measures against intruders, it doesn't seem like that's going to be strictly necessary. Once the bellowing water buffalo in the next room falls silent, the only sound we can hear is the television of the is the television of the half-deaf owners cranked up to the maximum volume in her office. Even the usual noise of the city doesn't reach us here. On top of which, this building seems to have been standing since before the war, judging by its noticeable state of deterioration. The whole structure creaks and groans audibly from just people walking around down the avenue outside, so the building itself is basically its own intruder alarm. We've got 3 entrances and and exits. Front, back, and emergency. But outside the back, there's a grizzled old Shiba dog tied up that growls and barks every time someone draws near, presumably the old lady's pet. Although it's definitely getting on in years, the animal seems to be a dedicated veteran with long history of service guarding the back gate. I almost said the black gate. I was like, what is this, fucking Mordor? Whether it's lovebirds sneaking around in hopes of a free stay or suspicious characters from the Yakuza offices lingering about, the Shiba watchdog barks persistently at all who approach, as if trying to wear out its own throat. That voice possesses the dignity of a proud and trustworthy professional. As for the emergency exit, you have to scratch your head at this one. Even though it's supposed to be the residents' escape route in case of trouble, the thing doesn't even open. Well, that's not good. Someone from the fire department does seem to have stopped by for a lecture, since there's a green light at the end of the hallway indicating the exit, but the door itself just won't budge. Well, that's completely befuddled. I circle around the outside of the building and take a look, only to discover a presumably abandoned bicycle rusted to a brilliant red, wedged between the emergency exit and the building next door. Okay, doesn't matter how hard you push from the inside, this thing isn't going to open. And if you tried to remove this obstacle from the outside, you'd make a hell of a lot of noise doing it. Not exactly an ideal situation from a safety code standpoint, but this would pose a minor but aggravating problem for any intruder. I decided to leave it as it is. Finally, then there's the front entrance. The 5 square meter space you come into immediately upon entering the building is the manager's office and reception area, all in one. The extent of the security here is the half-deaf old lady herself, sitting behind her desk watching period dramas and decades-old suspense serials. Not much sign she's even trying to keep an eye on things. A few minutes into my observation, she abruptly pushes herself to her feet with a grunt of whoopsie daisy, then opens the door of the main manager's office and wanders out into the street. I spend 15 minutes wondering what's so important that the woman left her building completely unattended. At which point she returns with a box of cigarettes in her hand. Oh, classic. Seems she hobbled down to the local liquor store to get herself some smokes. I think it's safe to conclude her management of the premise is somewhat on the functionary side. Well, better than no one at all. Probably, but it's just to be on the safe side, I decided to install a single motion detecting security light I purchased at the hardware store under the eaves at the front of the building. You know, I was gonna say, because I just have that, and I was like, oh, right, hardware store. The old lady accepts this easily enough, apparently deeply impressed to learn that in our convenient modern world, a mere 3,200 yen can buy you a light that flips on automatically when people approach. There you go, free of charge. And there's our beds. After a thorough secondary check of the surrounding area, including potential nearby sniping spots, I returned to find Makina already quietly asleep on her top of her futon. Not surprising that she'd be tired out after all that walking and switching trains we did today, but the girl didn't even bother to change first. She's curled up in her clothes. Hey, Makina, at least get undressed before you go to sleep.
あんまね脱がして
No, there's no more Amine anymore. Amine's not here.
じゃあパパ脱がして
What a pain in my ass. Well, maybe it's not that big a deal under the circumstances. If anything, it'd save her the need to pull her clothes on in a panic in the event of a raid. Guess we have to go to bed like this for today. Come on, Makina, move over a little. I can't get in.
一緒に寝てくれるにょ
Don't say kid. Given the layout of this room, it's more convenient if we sleep in one place.
うんうん
Well, from now on, we'll be living every day listening as the enemy's footsteps approach from behind with no guarantee we'll even be alive tomorrow. The easy, peaceful life we enjoyed only a few days ago is over. Why are they so determined to torment this girl? My head hurts. My damn head really hurts. This is our life. Oh. Meanwhile, oh my god.
ああ、失態だね。これは大失態だよ、ハルデラ君。まさか君が飼い犬に手を噛まれるとはね。
申し訳ありません。
勇敢である君には随分と目をかけてきたつもりだし、私もそれなりの便宜を図ったつもりだったが、これは私に見る目がなかったということなのかな。
Okay, this guy's being a real dickhead, you know?
いえ、決してそのようなことは。
でもさ、君、実際逃げちゃったんだろ ?9029 号がさ。そりゃね、9029は特別な番号だ。過去の経歴を含め、君に一任するのがベストだと思っていたさ。何せ君は、あの命令無視の常習犯だった草壁麻子をコントロールできる唯一の人間だったんだからね。
Define control, exactly.
それがどうだい。今回のこのざまは首輪を引きちぎって逃げたって言うならまだいいさ。どうせ名簿には乗っちゃいない男だ。こっそりと処分してしまえばいいだけの話だ。だが安泰を連れて逃げたとなれば、そりゃ話は別だよ君。これはもう命令無視なんて話じゃない。国家反逆罪だよ。どう責任を取るつもりなのかね。
申し訳ありません。
JB's like, oh, well,
ハルデラ君、君ね。私は別に謝ってもらいたくてこんなことを言ってるわけじゃないんだよ。
はあ。
ハートはなんだね、ハートは。まったく冗談じゃないよ。長から小になって、やっとオフィスの看板を掲げられるようになったかと思えばこの不始末だ。君ね、うちはただでさえ外資外資と煙たがられているってのに、これ以上私の立場を悪くしないでくれよ。
I think it's a little too late for that.
休日に子供とも遊ばずに勉強して、私がどんな思いで赤絨毯の個室を手に入れたと思っているのかね。
知らないわよ。
Damn.
何か言ったかね。
Got him.
いえ、空耳か被害妄想ではありませんか。
とにかくだ。9029号の立ち寄り先の予想リストをすぐに用意してくれたまえ。
Can you fudge that list for us, please?
ですから、 先ほど説明させていただいた通り、9029号が逃亡した場合、一度でも足を踏み入れた場所は避けるはずです。
Then make a list of places he's never been.
過去に9029号が住んでいた場所や任務で訪れた場所を除外したリストは提出済みです。それと、これはあくまでも勘の域を出ない推測ですが、9029号はかなりの高確率で都内に、それもここからそう遠くない場所に潜伏していると思われます。
ああ、それは飼い主としての直感かね。一応君の言う通りに二種装備の捜査官を待機させてはいるが、漠然と都内と言われてもだね。
Well, what do you expect her to say something fucking exact? That's not gonna happen.
クローバー12より緊急。内容29を発見。現在追尾中。
Oh, wait, what? What, already? I'm fucked?
場所は
Whoa!
港区新橋2丁目、烏森神社方面から汐留方面へ向けて徒歩で移動中。服装は黒のスーツに青系のネクタイ。手荷物の類は所持認められず、指示を求めております。
安泰はイリス・マキナは一緒にいるのか？
I was like, now I'm confused.
いえ、単独です。
Okay.
よし、確保だ。
いえ、ダメですよ。そのまま尾行を続けさせてください。ここは下手に刺激せずに、新宿と渋谷の実動を応援に回して潜伏先を突き止める方が先決です。
確保して尋問すれば済む話ではないのかね。
JP is like straight trying to buy me some time.
相手は9029号なんですよ。
君は今自分が置かれている立場を理解しているのか？君にはオブザーバーとしての意見は求めても作戦に対する決定権は与えられてはいない。
I mean, she's had the most interaction with me, so I think you should probably listen to her, right?
では、ご自身の責任で発令を。私はステイを進言したということをお忘れなく。
まあいいだろう。ファレル君、とりあえずは現状維持だ。
了解。
We'll never see Chiara's booty.
クローバー12 This is Queen. Not contact.
Well, there we go.
Maintenance of the status quo. Repeat. Not contact.
Alright.
Maintenance of the status quo.
私は中央発令所に入る。君も来るかね？
いえ、私が言っても場が乱れるだけでしょう。こちらで待機させていただきます。
場合によっては君の身柄も拘束されることになる。覚悟しておきたまえ。
Okay, now they're just being even more unreasonable.
はい。
This Ichigaya is like literally the worst.
疲れた。
お疲れ様です、先輩。コーヒーいかがですか？
Oh, please. Actually, could you replace the coffee with hot chocolate?
うん、お願い。
Please, God.
デカフェで？
Don't say it. Don't know.
うん、カフェインたっぷりでお願い。
Yes.
なんかもう飲まなきゃやってらんないって感じ。
本部長の嫌味節ねちっこいですからね。内閣府で石部副長官の腰巾着をやってた頃からあんな性格だったって噂ですよ。
Don't worry. I'll kill that man one day. One day.
あまり言わないであげてよ。あれでも一応うちの立役者なんだから。
あれ？
Hmm?
どうしたの？
Space Marines?
嘘、なんで？
報告しなさい。何があったの？
What have I done?
クローバー12シグナルロスト。
Oh. Well.
一体何が？ 地下に降りたわけではなくて。
違います。場所は東口中央広場で。はっ、
今度は何？
Oh my god.
造営に向かったトランプがハート9、スペード6、ダイヤエース、シグナルロスト。
Oh, well. you're
どういうこと？
you're messing with someone.
そんなの私に聞かれても困りますよ。ただシグナルがロストしたということは発信機を破壊されたか殺された。
I mean, what I did, I said I would kill, so that's a thing.
残りのトランプは？
ハートジャックのみですが、まだ配属2ヶ月の新人です。
Oh, well, he's so fucking dead.
ハートということは女性工作員ね。若いの？
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, she might not be dead.
はい、まだ24歳ですね。
その子、胸は大きい？
God damn it.
は？
バストは大きいかと聞いているのよ。どうなの？
Oh, no.
ちょっと待ってください。身長172センチでバストは88センチですね。それが何か？
You have that information just on your head?
9029は巨乳に甘いのよ。いいわ。その子には即刻引き上げ命令を出しなさい。
So rip. God damn it.
でもそんな命令勝手に出したらまた本部長に。
このままでは全滅すると中央に伝えなさい。それと事後処理班を現場に急がせて。
Like, I'd say Yuji's kind of soft against, or soft towards women in general, I suppose. Well, okay, more soft than he would be towards another man, is what I'm saying. So, like, other men don't give a fuck about women. You know, he's it depends on the woman. Not saying he'd be afraid to kill a woman. He might not. Who knows?
責任は私が取ります。急ぐ。
Okay.
ユージ。
What? I'm backed into a corner here. What on earth are you thinking? Oh, god damn it. Hello? Like how it's just called a certain place.
お腹いっぱい。食べられないのよさ。パパ？
I swear to God, Makina, you better not be going out by yourself.
パパ、どこ行ったの？アキナを一人にしたら嫌だ。
Oh, I'll be back. Don't worry. I'm right here, Makina. See, I'm here.
もう心配するじゃんかさ。勝手にどっか行ったらダメなのよ。どこ行ってやがったのよさ。
Just, cleaning up the neighborhood a little.
掃除？
I'm a good Samaritan. Noticed a few rats skulking around. One of them got away, but I took care of the rest. Shh. You don't have to worry about a thing anymore.
そっか。
Look, it's still 3:30 in the morning. You could sleep a little longer.
わかった。
That's right. Nothing to worry about. Just leave everything to me. Shh. For the time being, I've chased off the suits. The next ones they will send will probably be Special Forces or CAT. Why did I say C? Whatever. SAT. I guess, well, whatever. Hardly matters. Whoever comes, I'll just take them down one by one. Ah, shit, my head is killing me. God damn it. Oh, whoa. What is happening to me? Space Marines?
ああ、もうどうしてこういうことになるのかね。ハルテラ君。
Oh, JB's so gonna get fucked by the end of this thing. Like, you know.
現状維持命令を解除するからですよ。相手は9029号だと言ったはずです。
ああ、君はいつもそうしてその番号を口にするが、所詮は2代目じゃないか。そこまで大騒ぎするようなことかね。
Do you not know who you guys are talking? Like, no, well, not. I mean, does this guy not know who she's talking about? You know what I mean? He's a badass.
その油断の結果はご自分で確認されたのではありませんか？
He literally killed like a bunch of people. Got him.
襲撃された工作員に死人は出ましたか？
いや、重傷者は出たが、4人とも命に別状はない。
Okay, good. I didn't think I actually killed people, but I was ready for the eventuality that he did in fact kill all of them.
ということは、まだ封印は解けていないということですね。
ふい。
The what now?
9029号風見雄二には草壁麻子だけが解くことのできた封印がかかっています。
What? A who and why?
元来風見雄二という男は臆病で気が小さく、殺人を好むような人間ではありませんし、幼少期の体験がもとで殺人に対する強い精神的外傷を持っていて、殺人という行為に自我を保てないほどの極度の恐怖感情を持っています。
それは資料で読ませてもらったが、殺人が好きな子供などそうはいまい。それで普通なのではないかね。
資料はちゃんと目を通していただけたのですか？
Did you actually do that?
効果表には目を通した。
そんな成績表だけで理解できるほど単純ではありません。
十分だよ。風見雄二は12歳の時、実の父親を殺している。それが原因でトラウマを抱えているという話だろ。
Whoa! I did what now? I'm like, what is happening?
本人がそう信じているだけで、実際に殺したわけではありません。
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good then. Don't have to worry about that. Wiping that clean off my conscience.
だが結果的には父親は死んでいる。同じことだ。つまり何が言いたいのかね、君は。簡潔に説明してくれたまえよ。私も忙しい身でね。資料を読み込む時間もなければ、君の長話に付き合っている時間もないのだよ。
I fucking hate this guy, by the way. He's a character that's specifically designed for you to hate him.
父親の殺害、そして母親の自殺。この2つの死を風見雄二は自分のせいだと信じています。そして幼かった彼はその呵責に耐えることができなかった。
And his mom killed him? Herself? What the fuck's happening?
そしてその呵責を取り除くために草壁麻子は彼に暗示をかけたのです。
Oh, that's what's going on with me.
弱い者を守るために戦ったのだから何も間違っていない。お前は正しいことをしたのだと。
その結果、風見雄二は殺人を事故で正当化できるようになったというわけか。
いいえ、違います。彼は幼い頃に両親を殺害したのも、これまでの任務で暗殺してきたテロリストも、全部自分の右腕に取り付いた悪魔が勝手にやったことだと信じるようになったのです。
Alright.
わからんな。 なぜそんなことに。
子供ながらに最も安直な回答である俺のせいじゃないという答えに逃げ込んだ結果でしょう。
なるほど。そういうことなら理解できないでもないか。
でしょうね。
What the shit?
何？どういう意味かね。
It was nothing.
他意はありません。
Yep. That didn't mean anything.
つまりだ。自分のせいではない。全ては悪魔の仕業だと信じることで、風見雄二は暗殺任務に従事することができていた。
So whatever's going on in my brain mind, or Ryuji's brain mind, or whatever, he believes it's the devil doing it? Space Marines?
そしてその暗示をかけることができたのが草壁麻子だったと。そういうことかね。
いえ、逆です。悪魔のせいにすることで片っ端から人を殺してしまう風見雄二を暗示で押さえつけていたのが草壁麻子です。
Alright.
まったく複雑だな。つまり風見雄二に殺人許可を出していた草壁麻子はもういないのだから安全なのではないのかね。事実、未だ死人は出ていない。
I don't think you're actually understanding what she's telling you, dude, bro, brain mind.
そうではありません。違います。人を殺すなと暗示をかけ続けていた麻子はもういないのです。いつ暗示という封印が解けてしまうか予想がつきません。
Oh boy, yeah, I figured that's what was happening. Well, this is all really bad.
その暗示というやつは簡単に解けてしまうようなものなのかね。
わかりません。ただ一つ言えることは、この暗示は麻子の言葉をキーワードとした風見雄二自身の自己暗示と思われます。もし風見雄二にとって草壁麻子と同等、もしくはそれを超える存在を意識したとき、同時に自己暗示も解けてしまう可能性が高いと思われます。
Oh, AK Makina.
自己暗示が解けた場合、風見雄二はどうなる？
自分の守るべき対象にとって有害であると認識したものを片っ端から排除していくことでしょう。
Oh boy. I guess I'm gonna go on a murdering rampage here soon.
草壁麻子が健在であれば、そんな風見雄二も道具としてコントロールも可能でしたが、今となっては。
道具とはどういう意味かね。
極めて殺傷能力の高い国防装置という意味です。ですが今はそう、例えるなら手榴弾のようなものです。手榴弾には不用意な暴発を防ぐためにセーフティーピンが刺さっています。そのたった一本のチャチなピンがあるから腰にぶら下げて歩くことができるのです。
I like to think at this point I'm also something akin to a ticking time bomb as well, in a different respect.
そしてそのピンを引き抜き敵陣に投げ込むのが戦士。風見雄二のピンを抜けるのは戦士である草壁麻子だけだった。私たちは草壁麻子の道具である風見雄二をいじくり回しているうちにピンを抜いてしまいそうになっているのです。目的もなくピンを抜かれた手榴弾は誰であろうと区別なくその場にいる人間をすべて巻き込んでひき肉にします。
All this is really terrible and bad.
草壁麻子がいない今、ピンが抜けてしまえばおそらく彼は暴走するでしょう。
You think Makina could also get accidentally caught in the crossfire of my rampage? That'd be terrible.
殺しの手札に迷いがなく、他者を殺害することに遠慮もなく、殺したことへの呵責もない。そうなってしまえばもう誰にも止められません。
なーに、殺せば止まるさ。どんな人間でもね。壊れた部品を使い捨てにするようで心苦しい限りだが、彼には殉職してもらおう。それで構わないね。
She's just like, I don't think you're quite understanding. This is Yuji we're just talking about.
お任せします。
I don't think you can do that.
まったく面倒な狂犬を逃がしてくれたもんだ。私は中央に戻るが、何か思い出したことがあればいつでも連絡してくれたまえ。
Well, we actually got a lot of information into his psyche, I suppose,
はい。
and slightly about his past.
参った。何かあるたびに私のところへ来るの勘弁してくれないかしら。
Like the thing JB was shitting, or was like shitting with him, you know? I don't know.
なんかえらいことになってきましたね。
She totally wasn't, though.
あなた、仕事しているふりしながら盗み聞きしてたわね。
Hey, you leave Chiara out of this.
嫌だな、ちゃんと仕事してましたよ。先輩が提出した風見雄二の資料だいたい読み終えました。何やら凄まじい過去と経歴ですね。
そう？うちではそれほど珍しくもないでしょうに。その手の不幸を背負った犬なんてうちにはゴロゴロいるわよ。
But I've probably got the most tragic story around here, around these parts.
本部の方ではどうするつもりなんでしょうね。
さあ、でもまあ CSS や NSA の捜査員では限界があるでしょうし、今頃本部長は本社のお偉いさんと特殊作戦部隊を何単位派遣してもらえるのか交渉してるんじゃないかしら。
本国の精鋭が出向してくるとなると、さすがの902も店じまいですかね。
Ha! I don't think you know who we're dealing with, or you know.
そうね。生きて戻ってくる確率はほぼゼロでしょうね。
Oh, well, I guess I'll just die.
けど、あの子は草壁麻子が育てた犬よ。一度牙を向いた相手には、たとえ手足をもがれようと、はって飛びつき、喉笛に食らいつけ、首を落とされても、睨みつけて呪い殺せと訓練されてるわ。子犬の頃から年間6万ドルもの税金をかけて育てた犬よ。私たちは一番厄介な犬を敵に回しているという事実から目を背けてはいけないのよ。
That is a lot. That's a lot of training money every year.
でも
Hmm? Even if you wipe out the enemies who come for you, they're never going to stop coming, Yuji. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, my brain dead, malfunction, Space Marines. When I was a child, there were nights when my head ached so painfully I couldn't sleep. I don't know why. I think a doctor my mother took me to said something about stress being the cause. It began with something that felt like slight fever. Soon, my head would begin to throb painfully in time with the beating of my heart. I didn't think it was stress. I thought it was starving for something. For affection, love, something like that. Something frustrated, a longing. Some frustrated longing was making its impossible demands on me. Oh god, Monica's here. One evening, I suffered an unusually severe headache on my way home from school and crouched down on the roadside in agony. I looked around the area, my vision hazy and periodically obscured by pure white flashes of pain, but couldn't find anybody who seemed likely to help me. But that was only to be expected. It was natural. Nobody's going to volunteer for the thankless hassle of looking after some sick kid they've never seen before. I thought as much myself, so I'm sure the people passing by felt the same. Dragging my heavy legs forward as if slogging through knee-deep mud, propping myself up against the wall, I crept my way home all by myself. When I finally reached my house after what felt like hours of miserable effort, my big sister met me at the door. The instant she saw my face, it felt like my sister spoke some concerned words, but apparently my ears weren't working properly. I couldn't understand what she was saying. When I thought about the painful, lonely struggle I'd just endured, her sympathy only grated on my nerves. I snarled bitterly that it was a little too late for her to help now. My big sister's face crumpled miserably. I knew I'd done something wrong, something worth apologizing for, but I didn't have the composure to tell her I was sorry. Ignoring my sister as she tried to speak to me again, I moved past her and into our bedroom. I couldn't even muster the willpower to climb up to the top of the bunk where I slept. Instead, I opened the closet, collapsed inside it, then slid the door shut with the last of my strength. That's what I would have done. I like cramped places. I like dark places. I felt most at ease holed up in places too small for others to enter. It felt like I was safe there, like I was cocooned in the cockpit of a powerful robot. There was nothing to be afraid of in there. The pain, so intense that it felt like as though my skull was cracking apart, began to ease little by little. I wanted to stay there. I wish I could just curl up in that closet forever and never have to leave, even knowing that it was spoiled, pointless escapism. I couldn't help but indulge. When night came, my sister woke me up. She asked if I'd calmed down, and I realized I had. I felt almost refreshed, in fact, but at the same time there was a tickle of awkward self-reproach. Oh, that's right. I need to apologize for snapping at her. Just as my thoughts reached that conclusion, I felt a sharp pain in my right hand. Oh. When I looked down, I noticed the wound on my right fist, deep enough to expose the bone. I had no memory of injuring myself so badly. As I puzzled over when it could have possibly have happened, my sister spoke to me in a subdued murmur. It seems your homeroom teacher committed suicide. What? For a moment I couldn't process the meaning of those words. Suicide? In other words, the man took his own life. Even as I wondered why, a smug sense of satisfaction welded up inside me. I hated that teacher with a passion. He never complimented me when I succeeded, sneering at the smallest sign of pride. He focused exclusively on my failures, belittling me as a defective human being. He hurt me every single day. The man seemed to have entered the teaching profession just so he could reenact the miseries of his own childhood on his pupils. I'd silently urged him to die many times. It felt like what he deserved. I looked down at my right fist, covered in congealed blood. Did I kill him? While I was unconscious with this headache, did my body crawl out of this closet on its own? Did this hand kill my teacher? I wouldn't go that. That anxiety stretched on indefinitely. When my head began its brutal aching, somebody would experience misfortune. The pattern repeated itself several times. My head hurts. I want something. Badly. But as always, I can't even tell what it is I'm longing for. That thirst for something never did go away. I want to help. I want help. Anybody will do. If anyone would reach out a hand to me, I'd probably cling to them and cry like a child. At this rate, it feels like I'm gonna go crazy. I want to be alone. I want a cramped place where I can take refuge. I want to curl up in a dark place and sink into death as if I'm falling asleep. It was always my sister who opened the closet door and brought me out of my seclusion. There were times when I wished she wouldn't, when I found her irritating, and my sister died in a traffic accident. I didn't hate my sister or even dislike her. If anything, it'd be no exaggeration to say she was the reason I was able to keep on living. Even so, my sister died. Why did she die and leave me behind alone? The question did inspire some reproachful feelings. But I still remember the look on her face that day when I answered her kindness with a snarl of irrational anger. In the end, I never did apologize. I could never manage to say the simple words, "I'm sorry for yelling at you." That always weighed on my mind. When I think of my sister, her troubled expression on that afternoon always flashes before my eyes. I couldn't stand it anymore. I wish everything would just come to an end. But maybe all this was my fault. I gnawed at my possessed right hand until it bled. And 1 year after that, Just as I'd wished somewhere deep and down inside, the devil in my right hand took everything from me. My father died. My mother as well. I must have been the one who killed them. Yuji, calm down! All of them. I slaughtered them all. I'm the lowest of the low. I was a vile monster in the body of a child, and the person who took me in was an even more terrible creature. Taking place of my father, who had died, leaving only debts behind, that man brought me to his mansion to live like a dog. Every day was pain, nothing but pain, bitter, excruciating pain, beyond my capacity to endure. To escape that suffering, I would have gladly committed suicide, but I couldn't die. Ooh. Not when they punched me until the bones in my face shattered. Not when they kicked me until my organs seemed to burst. Not when they covered me in gasoline and set me on fire. Okay, now that... I felt pain, I suffered, but no matter what they did to me, I never managed to die. The devil in my right hand must have forbidden it. I'd forfeit the right to live as a human being, but maybe that wasn't all. Maybe I'd lost even the right to die. What was so valuable about my existence, preserved at the cost of so much blood and suffering? Why was the devil keeping me alive? I didn't know. Forget the meaning of life. I couldn't understand the reason I wasn't dead. I reached my limit. The thirst grew so agonizing I was beginning to wonder if it would ever stop swelling inside. Since things had gone this far, I had no choice but to purge myself of the devil. That was the source of my suffering and thirst. I began smashing my right hand against the concrete wall of my basement room, but the pain was so strong I couldn't help easing off. I tried slicing it off with a knife instead. That's not good, but whenever I tried to cut through the nerve, agony ran through my entire body, so it was difficult to keep pressing the blade down. All I managed was to cut myself deeply. Holy fuck, man. The bones in my wrist were getting in the way, so I tried to scrape them down with the knife first. But the thick blood that spouted out made the blade slip and slide around, so I couldn't grind away very well. And every time the blade did catch in the bone, the grating movement jarred my skull with sickening vibrations. In the end, I simply fainted from the pain. The adults in the mansion tied me up with ropes to prevent me from mutilating myself any further, and they whispered in my ear, the same words repeated many, many times. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. Even your family despised and resented you. Now that's just a lie. No one in the world loves you. No one in the world is on your side. Everyone's your enemy. Hate them. Hate them all. Anyone your eyes can see is your enemy. They made you suffer. They disgraced your family. They trampled your friends underfoot. That is the nature of your enemy. Kill them. Kill them all. You have my permission. Slaughter them like cattle. Hate everything. Kill everything. That is your only road to salvation. And so I killed. All of them. Everyone. Good. No. I might have killed my sister. Nah. I murdered my own parents. No, you didn't. But even after all that killing, I still haven't been saved. Why not? Haven't I killed enough by now? That's right. I haven't killed myself yet. I'm not finished yet. I've got to take my own life. But how? I can't just murder myself. I don't know how it's done. Nobody ever taught me. What do I need to do before I can die? I spent 2 weeks without eating any food. My arms grew thin as the branches of a dead tree. My front teeth fell out, and my fingertips grew soft and began to warp away from the skin underneath. I mean, not fingertips, fingernails, whatever. I'm fucking stressing out. When I reach up and touch my head, hair came out in clumps, but there was no pain. It seemed that I was simply going to wither away to a mummy. I would sleep in my crypt, waiting for the day when someone would offer me blood. However many years it took, however many decades, however many centuries, until someone who can save me appears. Until my sister comes to wake me up. Yuji. Yes, that was my name. My sister always called me that. Until my sister calls again, I can only wait. In a slumber so deep I'll forget even my own name. I wanted someone to pull me up out of this hell as quickly as possible. But I had fallen into hell for a reason. I had done an evil thing. This was only natural. This was my punishment. Whew! When I came to, I was in an unfamiliar room. It wasn't my basement prison. There was a window. The pale bluish light of the moon flowed in, and the air felt a little cold against my skin. On nights like this, where the moon hung fat and swollen in the sky, my sister used to moan in an awful tone of a voice from the bed below my own. It was always like that on nights when the moon was full. Suffering, sadness, desperation. Her voice spoke of many different emotions too strong for words. It frightened me when my sister moaned. I would wrap myself up in a blanket and on the upper bed, covering my ears tightly, but still the voice seemed to pass through my skull and burrow directly into my brain. That overly bright moonlight flowing in from outside the window must have driven me mad. I stood up from my bed, approached the window, and looked out. A single girl stood beneath a snowstorm of sakura petals dancing on the wind, her back turned to me. What was she doing out there at this time of night? What is happening? In the first place, who on earth was she? As those questions drove every other thought from my mind, the girl turned around and smiled brightly. Our eyes met. Overwhelmed by the uncomfortable feeling that I'd been peeping on her somehow, I willed myself to pull back and hide. But for some strange reason, I couldn't move my body even an inch. It was almost as though the force of her gaze had pinned my moonlight cast shadow to the ground. As I stood stock still by the window, the girl softly raised her right hand toward me and began to speak. My ears were ringing. The girl's voice couldn't reach me. When I concentrated on the girl's mouth as she repeated herself, I read the softly spoken words from the movement of her lips. Over here, Yuji. She was calling for me, clearly and simply. And when I focused on her with complete concentration, her voice itself became clear as a bell, sinking deeply into my
こっ
mind.
ちにおいで、
Oh.
ユージ。
Oh. The girl was definitely saying that. As she offered me her outstretched hand, tears began to roll down my face. Can I really take her hand? Yes. Is it really alright for me, the likes of me, to take that hand? The instant our fingers intertwined, the devil in my right hand might kill the girl. Nah. My body began to tremble uncontrollably. I was afraid. This is a dream. I want to wake up right away. When I see dreams like these, my right hand always tries to kill someone. I can't take any more. I don't want to lose anyone else.
パ
Uh-huh. Snapped abruptly back to the waking world by a familiar voice against my earlobe. I saw a girl crouched down at my side. That girl, her eyes full of concern, spoke to me.
パパ、また泣いているの？
We're pretty fucked up. Hey, Makina. I'm fine. It's nothing.
なんでもなくないよ。どうしていつも泣いているの？
No, really, it's no big deal. Men just wake up crying sometimes. Sort of like a wet dream, you know? Don't worry about it.
どうしてそんな怖い顔をしているの？私には話せないことなの？
Yeah, that's right. It's got nothing to do with you, so don't worry. You don't have to worry about it.
そんなのずるいよ。私だけ助けてもらって、私じゃパパを助けてあげられないの？
Makina.
話すのが辛いなら何も聞かない。それに私あんまし頭良くないから、きっと話してもらっても上手に慰めてあげられない。
Oh, Makina, you're a smart cookie, okay? Don't be saying that stuff.
だからね、前にね、アマネが言ってたの。
Why are you naked now?
傷ついた男の人を慰めるのは女の裸が一番だって。
Of course, Amane would tell her that. What, so? You're doing the slut routine now?
ピッチでいいのよ。 私はパパだけのビッチなのよさ。
God damn it.
だからこっちにおいでパパ。
Is this happening? Is this really happening right now? After such a moment? Those words sent a jolt of surprise through my body. I've only just realized. The voice of the girl in the dream, the voice that seemed to sink into the depths of my heart, was Makina's. The girl who waited all this time, all those years, her hand patiently outstretched, offering to lead me out of hell. Never would have thought she'd turn out to be this stumpy little airhead. But here we are. I find myself wrapping my arms around Makina, clinging to her like a child. Oh no. Oh boy. Of course your nipple had to be right there, huh? Sorry, Makina. Never thought I'd sink low enough to make you comfort me. Pathetic, aren't I?
それでいいのよさ。男が女を抱く理由なんてそれで十分なのよ。おいでパパ、キスしてちょうだい。
I obediently bring myself closer, feeling the quiet touch of her breath against my face. A feminine sigh. It's a warm, soft sensation like a slow summer breeze, too gentle even to ruffle your hair. Dawn has just begun to break outside. The morning light that flows softly into the room faintly illuminates her pink lips. Catching a brief glimpse of her small tongue in between those slightly parted lips, I push my mouth to hers as if reeled in by the jerk of a rope. This is just what we need, I suppose. Her lips are pliant, with a hint of stickiness. I push my tongue deep inside that oddly sugary little mouth and move it slowly around in exploration. Even the girl's teeth feel small. That's because you're a giant man. It's hardly the first time I've kissed Makina, but I don't think I've ever done it so urgently before. Makina pulls back with a reflexive little twitch, then slides her arms upward along my back. Her hands grab hold of my hair and pull my face even closer, forcing our lips more firmly together. The frantic way she sticks out her stubby little tongue to parry mine is clumsy in the extreme, but also more than a little adorable. You've got one short tongue, kid.
仕方ないのよさ。ね、パパ、もっとエッチなキスして。
Well, easy for you to say. I ponder the matter for a moment, but this short little tongue of hers presents a serious impediment to more advanced French kissing. It's said that soft breasts grow larger when you rub them. I wonder if a short tongue would get longer if you pull on it. Now we're experimenting. Pushing my way back into that sweet little mouth, I burp my Makina's stubby tongue with my own, then pin it between my lips and apply some firm suction. I can't really understand the words you're saying, just so you know. Well, understood that. Makina's lips part widely, less an invitation than a demand. I respond by opening my mouth and letting a large load of drool fall into hers. Okay. We are doing mega sloppy kissing. Of course, this is probably her first experience with anything like this. Her mouth still hanging open. Makina wrinkles her brow, clearly bewildered by the sudden plunge of spit onto her tongue. Think you could swallow that? After shutting her eyes and thinking the matter over for a moment, Makina closes her lips in determined fashion, then gulps down the frothing saliva I placed inside her mouth. It's okay, we just swapped spits, fine. What do you think? A little gross after all?
なんかすっごくエッチな味。
Good enough to kill a few brain cells?
何それ。
Don't ask questions. Forget it. I'm just making this up as I go along. The girl's breathing heavily, her mouth hanging open. Clearly a little dazed, I take the opportunity to reach down to her growing. Oh, really? You're gonna make me have to skip the spice? My fingers slide easily along her vagina. Yep, there it is. Smooth and hairless as always, but today it's unusually warm and moist. Almost as though her body was waiting for this. Just like you guys probably were, but, YouTube police. So what, the first thing after doing like 5,000 positions, I ask for is if it's a safe day? Probably should have asked that before all that occurred. God, I love when there's a sex scene and like they have a face. I'm just like, God damn, you know they're loving it. Makina's is the best. With their swirly eyes. Makina, was today a safe day?
おにゃ、バリバリ危険日。2回も中出し、頑張ったな。きっと双子なのよさ。
Well, shit. Look, Makina, what are you planning to do if you seriously get pregnant?
何言ってんの？産むに決まってんのよさ。
Duh. Figured.
パパは本当の意味でパパになるのよ。もう自分勝手に死ねないね。父親のいない子はかわいそうなのよ。運動会で担任の先生とやる親子リレー。あれはなかなかきついのよさ。心にズッキリとくる。
That's right. Wouldn't want to make them go through that, you know.
心配ないのよさ。誰か支えてくれる女が必要なら私が支えるからね。
Yeah, sounds good. Looking back, I've been trying to avoid forming deep connections with people for a long time. I was just going to end up dead one day anyway. Felt pointless, almost wrong to go looking for meaningful relationships, let alone have a child with someone. I didn't even want to think about passing on my defective genes. But along comes the little airhead, little bulldozer of a woman, yelps, "The hell do I care?" and shoves her way into my life before I even knew it hit me. So she's going to forgive me my sins even if God can't? Huh? Not that it's anything new, but this girl really is absurd. Even so, I can't deny that this absurd strength is exactly what I needed. Exactly what I've been looking for deep down. There's no point in playing dumb anymore. This tiny little woman saved me. She's given me real courage. Sounds good, Makina. I'll do my best.
おう、頑張れ。私も頑張るからな。
Just as the sparrows begin to chirp outside, the rusty old air conditioner in our window seems to remember its purpose, shaking the curtains as it belches to life. The bright, clear morning sun slips through the gap and streams into our room. My head doesn't hurt anymore. Well, that's good. Holy fuck. There was so much that just happened. Okay, we're not gonna go actually insane. That's good. That's cool. I actually liked how we got to learn more about him as a character. I know we're not gonna find out everything about him from one route. You gotta do all the runs, and then even then, you're not even gonna find out everything. You got the next game is where it's all at, apparently. So, oh boy, that all in fact did happen.